Oh, no. Oh, no, I did a bad thing. Oh, after all that. That was a bit poor, sorry. Flipping heck. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'm going to be back in the Citation again. I just can't keep away from it. Even after I recorded the last episode, I did a flight straight out of Glasgow again. I love this little aircraft, it's great. I didn't end up landing or anything, I just messed about for a bit. But today we're going to be taking off again from Glasgow, which is where we ended up last time. And this time I'm not going to put anything in here at the top of this menu where we're going, or any sort of destination, or any arrivals, departures, whatever. We're just going to put it on the ramp, and I'm going to try and manually put in the flight plan into this aircraft. I've been on SimBrief, I've written a few bits down. I don't 100% know how to work SimBrief yet. There's little things that I'm still learning like that. I've written down some waypoints on here, and we're going to just try and make this work and get over to Newcastle, which is where we're going to be flying today in a little hop in the Citation. Conditions are less than ideal, as you can see. This is real-time weather here in the UK. Very, very gloomy at the moment, but I'm looking forward to flying this gorgeous little jet again. So, battery switch, let's get that on up there. Let's get the avionics down to dispatch, and let's get these on. We'll also bring the lighting up as well so we can actually see what's going on, because I mean the visibility is nil. We're going to come down here to the little computer thingy-mabobber. We are going to hopefully get it to... Oh no, we need to start the engines actually. You start the engines really early in this aircraft. So I think we've got everything we need to. Wait for the N2 to build up on here. That goes to about 5, I think they tell you to do it at. Let's get the pitot static and heat on there. Fuel boost on right, that's because the starter's on. My ring light is flickering its bag off. When it gets to about 4, I'm going to hit start anyway. 3.9, and then it's going to get 4. Boom. Let's get that one on. Wait for a good start on this. Wow, these conditions are rough. Okay, engine start looks good. Let's get the left engine ready to go. When we're doing that, we can now flick the avionics on, and that will start aligning everything. You'll see this display here will start spinning around as it tries to get everything loaded. Got gen switches on. All of that stuff looks good. I realised on this screen that there's previous and next for the, obviously, previous and next pages. Execute is like an OK button, and there you see, look, we've now got position initialized. So what we're going to do is go to the flight plan. Origin is going to be EGPF, which is Glasgow, and then we're going to go to EGNT, which is Newcastle. So we can execute. When you make a change, you have to click execute, and then it loads it in, you see. Alternate, I think it put EGCC, so we'll put the alternate as that. We're not going to do a route or anything. Flight number today, we are going to be... Oh, I think we're still actually going to be Chop 19 Charlie. I'm not sure if it's going to let us put this in here, to be honest, though. We're going to try it. Flight number Chop 19 Charlie. And then we're going to go to legs. So these are the waypoints, basically, or at least I think they are. Yeah, so we start at EGPF. So let's try and put some of these waypoints in that are written down. So the first one is D226L. I don't know enough about these points yet. It is something that I really want to learn. There you go, look, EGPF out of there. So that's the first leg. D226N after that. Pop that in there. EGPF. Norbo. Norbo. Norbo goes in. This is quite cool because this is the sort of stuff that I really want to learn how to get right, you see, when you are putting your full flight plan in yourself. I know a lot of the software sort of drags it in for you, and that's nice to have, but you'd want a lot of them. Ooh. EG makes me think that that's the right one, because it's in the UK rather than K, being usually American airports start with K. IPSAD, that goes straight in. Otbun, which is near the approach. Now what I've done is I've then put waypoints in to try and go around Newcastle, because we're going to be on runway, I think, 25 on the way in. So we're going to go out over the water on the east coast and then turn back round on ourselves and come back in. So I've then chosen to put in AGPED and then ASGEB. Now these might start asking us now for runways or whether it's near the airport. No, clearly not. Digby, which is way out over the sea. Mint, and then CF25, which is where we're going to be intercepting the ILS, I believe. Oh, what happened there? Let us clear CF25. Let's just put that back in again just to check what the situation was. EGAA EGGW. That's neither. Oh dear. Okay. Let's just pick one of them. You can see the line as it suddenly goes off into the distance, wherever that is. Let's clear that, and let's just put in EGNT, and just have that. And then execute, and that is hopefully going to give us the pattern that we would like. Although, D226N, and then... where's that going to be taking us? That looks like it takes us miles away. The range for these is on here. Wow. It's got us like flying across the Atlantic. Why has it got us doing that? What's that after? So the one after Norbo has got us flying over the Atlantic. Is it Taller and Haven that I've got wrong? Let's clear Taller. Let's clear Haven. Let's just go straight to IPSAD, shall we? Yeah, that's it. That looks more like it. So we're actually now programming flight plans in, which is good. It's just getting the sim to understand the approaches and the departures and stuff that I want out of it. That's the tough bit, I'm afraid. Is that up? No, let's put that back down. Oh, we've not actually started the engine. Christ. As you see, we're still in CDMB, which is a lovely little aircraft to be in. Not sure about the floodlighting here on the dash, but I don't think we need it, to be honest with you. Winds are going to be quite high, so let's try and get some clearance, shall we, from Glasgow.
Glasgow ground chop 19er Charlie IFR to Newcastle, ready to copy.
Chop 19er Charlie is cleared to Newcastle Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 23 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.875
Okay, 8,000 feet on there.
4011.
I think we're good. So initialize position. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with this.
Chop 19er Charlie, acknowledge last transmission.
Departure on 119.875 squawk 4011.
I'm not sure about this initialize position thing, which is really frustrating. I don't know how to get rid of that message. Unless, is there a message button there? Message. How about shut up? I don't know. Oh, message shut up. Oh, it's gone now. Oh no, old messages. Oh, right. Okay, anyway, we've got the flight plan in there. We can figure it out when we get to Newcastle, I guess, and just see what approach we get given. Right now, we're going to organise our pushback, so we're going to go up to the menu up here. Pre-plan pushback. We're going to make sure that we push back onto the correct line. So we move with control on the mouse. There is a yellow line. Nice long pushback here. And we're going to get him to turn us around right at the end and bop it. There. Request pushback from them. And here he comes in his little tuggy thingy. Now, I've learned with this that you have to just let him get up to you, and it does occasionally glitch into your aircraft. He'll sort of drive around and maybe glitch into the nose a little bit. The way the lighting works in this game is stunning. See, look, there is aforementioned glitching. But when you give him a sec, once the animation sorts itself out and he does this little bit, he'll suddenly just click into place. There you go. So, I take the parking brake off, click hold, and there we go. Let's see how close he gets us to the yellow line, shall we? See whether I've got it right or not, because it's me that planned it, let's face it. I think we're just going to be to the left of it. Some movement from something else on the airfield. That's him done there with us, so we'll pop the parking brake on. Thanks very much, mate. Mucho appreciate. Watch for his weird little turnaround. Oh. It looked a lot weirder the first time when we had it happen to us in the Bonanza. Let's request taxi clearance.
Glasgow ground chop 19er Charlie with Mike ready to taxi IFR.
Chop 19er Charlie taxi to and hold short
Okay,
of
so
runway
November Golf
23
Alpha.
using taxiway November
Golf is
Alpha.
right, and then Alpha is the one that it
Contact
joins
tower
onto on the end.
118.805
Okay.
when ready.
Roger that. Thanks very
Taxiing
much.
hold short runway 23 using taxiway
Yeah,
November
all
Golf
good to
Alpha
go.
chop 19er Charlie.
Parking brake off. Let's taxi. Oh, I'll tell you what we've not done. Sorry.
Glasgow ground Speedbird 1482 taxi to the gate.
Poor stuff by Chaz.
Speedbird 1
Not
to
put my
gate
taxi lights on or
29er using
anything.
taxi
I think I've put
11,000 feet.
one too many on there. I don't
Departure
think I need my
frequency
strobe
is
lights on.
119er
There we go.
decimal 1 squawk 000.
Sorted. Now we'll taxi.
Taxiing.
So this is November that we're on now. We're going to turn right onto Golf, and then Alpha is the taxiway that Golf joins onto a little bit further down. Not ideal flying conditions by the look of it. I'm not sure what the winds are going to be like. Hope they're not too rough. But I feel I'm going to need to get a little bit comfortable. Let's just check this very quickly. Yeah, that's just straight onto the runway, that is. So, right, Speedbird 1487 is not mucking about going to Heathrow. I have looked at getting some model matching stuff as well, by the way. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be like when it comes to live players and other people online, because it's the stuff people use with VATSIM, but obviously this isn't VATSIM that I'm on right now. This is just the game's standard servers. Interesting taxi pattern here at Glasgow, because you have to sort of taxi around the tower, which is that huge building there. We're going to go flaps 1 for takeoff. I'm going to come down here and bring them down 1. Yeah, as you see, very rainy, which means usually it's going to be a bit rough when we get up there, so we'll have to wait and see. I was speaking to a good friend of mine, Connery Maddock, last night about these aircraft and how they climb like space shuttles, and we certainly witnessed that on our way out of Manchester last time, didn't we?
Glasgow ground Speedbird 1487 requesting the end of pushback.
They clearly don't have toolbar pushback, do they?
Speedbird 1487 taxi to and hold short of runway 23 via taxiway November Golf Alpha.
Feels like a very long taxi, this. I'm not sure if I'm going a bit too quick, though. It feels like it when you see the ground, but in an aircraft this small, 30 knots might not be that bad. I've been told that 30 knots is the sort of limit to expect when you're taxiing. In a straight line anyway, and then it's 10 knots, I believe, for 90-degree corners. Don't know where that is displayed on here, actually, to be fair. So we're now on Alpha. That's what this taxiway is. And we're going to go all the way down in a straight line now to the end, and then hold short of runway 23. I'm going to tune to Glasgow Tower now. We're clear of all the ground stuff and anyone else. There's not really anything out here that can get in our way that ground needs to worry about. We've only got 35% fuel on board as well today, so we're very light on fuel. We're not going to need that much, to be honest with you. We've got barely any weight on board, no passengers. This is effectively going to be like a repositioning flight. We are classified as net jets for this one. They have a lot of Cessna Citations and other aircraft of this kind. Just giving it a few taps on the brakes here just to slow Piggy down a bit. All of a sudden you can hear the rain. We're going to get down here and then hold short of runway 23. I'm not sure if it wants us to hold here or if there is another line up there. I'm confident I'm going to wait here for now. This weather is super crap.
Glasgow Tower chop 19er Charlie at runway 23 ready for departure IFR to Newcastle.
Chop 19er Charlie QNH
Okay.
29er decimal tree 2 wind calm. Cleared for takeoff runway 23.
Thank you very much, love. Wind calm
Cleared for
apparently,
takeoff,
so
runway 23 chop
that's alright.
19er Charlie.
We'll take that. We are flaps 1. We are ready to go. We've got landing lights, taxi lights on. Everything ready to go. Strobe lights on as well, look. All fully lit up. Turning onto the runway now. A lot of standing water. Just to make life easier, we are going to come to a stop and then we're going to get rolling again. I'm going to let it roll a little bit further down here though. Okay, we're going to come to a stop just at the piano keys here. And then we're going to build the revs up. Hold it on the parking brakes. I'm going to go to about 50%. And then we're going to release parking brakes and floor it. Wind may be calm, but it's trying to pull left gradually. Nearing 100 knots. There's 100 knots already gone. Veering over to the right slightly. 120 knots. Pulling back on the stick. And we are airborne very, very quickly. Coming back on the power. look at the visibility. It is nil. So we're going to get the autopilot on. Don't want it to follow that heading. Where are you going? Whoa, dearie me. It was turning right then at not very high altitude. We're climbing through the speed very quickly.
Top 19er Charlie, acknowledge last transmission.
Sorry, love. A bit stressed out here because I can't see.
119.875 chop 19er Charlie.
On our way up to 8,000 feet. Look at the visibility. It is almost nil. We can turn our landing lights off in 225 knots, 1400 in terms of the vertical speed. So D226L and 226N, and we're going to just make sure the heading is set to go directly to that. And that's it. Scottish Centre. I'll have a chat with them.
Scottish Centre, chop 19er Charlie is passing 3,300 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Wow. We are literally just sat in the clouds. I'm going to keep my landing lights on actually, just because we need as much brightness as we can get out here. Completely clouded over. There is nothing to see. Absolutely nothing to see. It's great for your frame rate, but there is nothing to see out here. Wow. Very, very bleak. So as you can see on this screen here, we're going to be going to 226L, then N, over Norbo, and then we're going to be turning left and basically heading straight towards Newcastle all that way down. EGNT is 157 nautical miles away. It says it's about an hour, but I reckon we can do it quicker than that. We are losing speed though, so I'm going to give it a bit more. That's something I really need to keep my eye on here actually. I want to try and get close to 250 knots all the way there. Not sure how that works, to be honest with you. We've broken through the cloud now, which is nice. Look at that. There you go, through the weather, and suddenly it's gorgeous again. Look at that. I'm going to go back into some cloud now. Might be a little bit bumpy at points. Speedbird's got up off the ground. See if we can get nav mode on and see if it'll do it for us. See if it'll start following waypoints, because now we've got a straight line to 226N, or 226L at least. Let's see if it'll get there and then start banking back.
Altitude.
Okay, we're reaching 8,000 feet, which is good. Yeah, look, it is following it. Now it's going to level out. See, I didn't tell it to go to that heading, so that's good. So I've figured that out now. So basically, I had, I think, the heading mode on. So when you click HDG there, it puts HDG here. So it means that you're managing the heading rather than the aircraft. It's like toggling that mode on and off. It's the same with the Airbus. So yeah, look, we're turning left now towards Norbo, so it's intercepted the waypoint. I am absolutely in love with this little aircraft, man. Absolutely in love with this aircraft. More in love than I am with touching my own nose whenever I'm speaking, because I seem to always be doing that. Look, now we're turning at Norbo.
Please expedite your climb 8,000 feet.
We are at 8,000 feet. What are you on about? Oh, is the barrow not set right? Are we not at 8,000 feet? Oh, no. What did you say it was? QNH 2932. I need some sort of calculator for that so I know what it is in HPA. QNH. Come on. QNH 29.32. HPA. Converting INHG into HPA. Whoa, we are rocketing. Yep, I know. Sorry. Well, if you manage your own speed, then maybe we'd be alright. Shut up.
Top 19er Charlie, please expedite your climb 8,000
Yes, I'm
feet.
trying to figure it out, love. 992. Wow, that's low. .88. So now let's go 993. Okay, so yeah, let's get up there. Sorry, love. Apologies. We're getting up there. So we will now finally get to 8,000 feet.
Top 19er Charlie, climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Typical.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet, chop 19er Charlie.
Go up there, 1,500 feet a minute. Breaking through some more cloud, and look at it, it's still zero visibility that way, and at least ahead of us it looks alright. We did bring the flaps up, didn't we? I'm barely any throttle, but that's because we're dropping speed. It's something I'm really not good at keeping my eye on, is the speed. Why can't we just have you control the speed, please? I just don't get why it doesn't hold that speed. There must be a button or something that I'm missing somewhere. Still, we've passed Norbo. We've turned left now and are heading down towards Newcastle, and everything looks great. Looks very nice indeed. I just need to do a better job of keeping my eye on the speeds. Trying to do a beauty shot, love. Why isn't it climbing? It's weird. I think maybe because it got to 8,000 feet, it then wanted to sit there. Oh well, we're climbing now. Losing speed again though. So I'll put a bit more throttle in. Is there anything I can do to hold the speed? So that's how much we're climbing up by. 1,600 feet a minute to 11,000 feet. It tells you on there as well, the vertical speed is set to that. There's our airspeed, which is 205, but for some reason I just can't get it to hold speed. So you push it to get the indicated airspeed or the Mach. Yes, we're getting to 11,000 feet, thank you very much. There's nothing here to tell us what, well, to get us to hold the auto throttle. See, we're going way over 250 now, so we need to come back a bit on the throttle. Sitting at 264, so now we're rocketing, which is good. We're properly moving. Yeah, so it's staying about the same speed now. But that's not because I've told it to and that it's doing auto throttle. Maybe I'll Google it while we're at cruise. Oh, so apparently this FLC button here, it tries to maintain an airspeed for you during climb and descent. So when you're sitting cruising like this, it's not up to that to maintain the speed. Right, there is no auto throttle basically, seems to be the general consensus anyway. Okay. Well, that's fine, we'll just have to manually keep an eye on our speed. It's not like we have to do a lot else. We're doing 261 knots at the moment, so rattling along on our way down towards Newcastle. How far away are we? 97 nautical miles now. We're just going over EGJS. There's traffic out to our left, but it's above, so it's way up there somewhere. And it's now a lovely day up here at 11,000 feet in Golf Charlie Delta Mike Bravo. Looks like we've got quite a crosswind actually, look. Oh, hello, big bump there. Yeah, we do have quite the crosswind, because look at which way the aircraft is facing compared to that line that we're on. So we're sort of skating sideways at the minute. 40 knot crosswind, I think that is, that we're competing against. It's a slight tailwind though, so that might be helping us. We're doing 265 and the aircraft is moving about quite a bit. But I'm happy, we're doing alright.
Traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 12,600 feet generic.
There they are.
Report them in sight.
Yep, got you.
Ryanair 840 traffic is 3
okay, so that's Ryanair 840.
0,800 feet Cessna C25C.
Chop 19er, Charlie traffic in sight.
Ryanair 840 traffic in sight.
Okay, cool, so we see each other, that's nice to know. Definitely moving about a bit, aren't we? Keep our eye on them, because they seem to be getting closer and closer to us as we're moving along. Looks to me like they're sort of going away from us, but they may be just coming slightly over the top of us. Obviously the model matching hasn't done its thing there. Not that I've got any sort of model matching turned on, to be honest with you. Ryanair's gone over the top of us now, so they'll be off down that way somewhere now. That next waypoint is going to show up on here in just a moment. 16 nautical miles to Ipsad. Making good progress, I'd say. It's going quite well, considering that I put the flight plan in myself into the computer. I'm just glad that the functionality's there for it to happen, because going forward I want to learn how to do that properly with the Airbuses and so on. Do long multi-hour flights that I can record and get a decent amount of time in the cockpit for. And on that note, speaking about getting time in the cockpit, I am going to try and head back down to the Airbus A320 Neo simulator that I did this video on a few weeks ago. Going to be hopefully heading back down there with Drew and maybe bring my brother and Niall along as well, so we'll have a good day there, I imagine. So hopefully we can do some more content on that. But I'm really loving my flight simming at the moment, properly putting a bit of time into learning this. You know, I want to try and learn it on the fly and teach myself, but at the same time, there's no shame in Googling stuff and looking for details on how to do certain things. A lot of the systems only work if you have a certain mode or button pressed already to then activate it and mess about with it. There is so much to learn, but that's what makes it fun. You know, flying little aircraft like this thing. I mean, look at it. It's just excellent. Gorgeous little jet. And it's very pretty, this sim as well. I'll never get bored of how it looks. But we're just coasting along now in our little Cessna Citation, doing things properly. That's the thing. We're doing it properly, you know. It's not that different to doing it in the real world, except for you're not physically in the aircraft. There's a lot more regulations and stuff that goes into setting it all up as well, and paperwork, of course, but still. We're not a million miles away from doing what they'd be doing real world here, because the sims are that realistic. We're just about to hit Ipsad, so we're going to start banking right slightly in just a moment. You'll still see this little horizon just tilt, and then we'll make the turn to the right and then head towards the next waypoint, which is going to be Otbun. Okay, Ipsad is now flashing on all of our screens, and you can see the aircraft is now banking to the right. We're going to make a turn now towards Otbun. Very windy. The aircraft is doing a lot for us here to keep us stable. Not a massive amount to report at this point. We're going to hit Agped, then we're going to turn left and go towards... what was the next one called? Was it Asdeb or something? Oh, we've hit Otbun, sorry. We've just gone over Otbun. Now we're going towards Agped, then Asgeb, Digby, and then we're going to turn back on ourselves to EGNT. I feel all snug and content. I love it. I really do love it. Chop 19er Charlie.
124.38 for Chop 19er Charlie. Newcastle approach Chop 19er Charlie 11,000 feet.
Chop 19er Charlie Newcastle approach QNH 29.38. Continue
29.38.
Chop 19er Charlie contact Scottish Centre on 119.875.
Right.
119.875 for Chop 19er Charlie.
So now we're going back to Scottish Centre for some reason.
Scottish Centre, Chop 19er Charlie 11,000 feet.
Is there like a zigzag in controlled airspace or something? I tend to use these screens differently, so this one's a little bit more zoomed in for closer up stuff. This one shows a little bit further away. Like you can see, we're going to go left at Asgeb, then to Digby over the sea, and then turn back to Newcastle. So Newcastle is actually, pop that up there, directly in front of us down there somewhere. But as you see, cloud. Well, we should get passed back at some point to Newcastle approach. I'm not sure if that's going to be any second now, but we're heading right towards it, so I don't get why we'd suddenly go back to Scottish Centre, whether they control the arrivals for these two airports or something, I don't know.
Chop 19er Charlie.
Oh, there we go.
Contact Newcastle. Approach on 124.38.
124.38.
Going to
Chop
124.38 Chop 19er Charlie.
Can't stop playing with these. I always play with these on my hoodies, especially these ones because they're really solid. Anyway, 124.38, Chop 19er Charlie. Just nudge the stick, that's not good. Don't do that with your elbow. 2942. It's very different over here. 996.2 on the Barrow, so we're going to go up to 996. Set and maintain 3,500 feet. Speed down below 185. Roger that. Sending by 2,000 feet a minute. Making the turn. Gorgeous. Keep our eye on the speed and we'll try and get on it. Actually, now we've got this, we can do 180 as the speed on there. We'll see whether it manages that. So speed is coming down now to 189. We've still got a bit of a crosswind. We're about to hit Asgeb soon as well, and we are at 9,000 feet for some reason. Why are we not going down?
Chop 19er Charlie, please expedite your
Yeah, I know. I've just realised, love. I'm really sorry. Why we? I wondered why it looked so level. 2,000 feet now.
Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Chop 19er Charlie.
Contact Newcastle Tower on 119.705 when inbound.
We shall. We'll get to Digby. Well, we'll get to Asgeb and get to our height, and then we'll contact them. You can see on that right screen there. I'll look at it properly for you. There you go. Look, you can see now we're going to go right at Asgeb towards Digby, and then turn back in and get ourselves lined up with EGNT, and then be on our way. So we're going to leave it for the tower for a little bit. Actually, no, we may as well just see what they've got to tell us anyway.
Newcastle Tower, Chop 19er Charlie 10 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 25 approach.
I'm literally coming all the way off the throttles now just to drop the speed because we're nearly over speeding on the way down. Right, we've hit Asgeb, so we're turning right. Not that you can tell. It's going to be an interesting IFR
Cleared
landing.
ILS runway 25 approach chop
QNH
19er Charlie.
29.43, which puts us at 996.6. So I'm going to put it to 997 on there. You can see it's 996 HPA. I'm going to turn that until it says 997. Gives us a bit more of an accurate reading on the altimeter. And we are cleared for the ILS runway 25 approach. Not sure we're going to properly intercept the ILS because I'm an absolute nut job and can't ever seem to get it right. And it is telling us to turn already, so we're not even going to fully intercept Digby here. We're going to turn straight onto it, which is terrifying because we're still at 5,900 feet. So you get climbing down, love, to 2,000 feet because we need to crack on now and get down. We've got about half the approach distance that I thought we were going to have, because look where Digby is and look where the airport is. I thought we were going to go all the way out there, sort of meet it maybe here and then turn back, but no. We are all of a sudden coming into land, everybody. And look at this visibility. So this is going to be one of the toughest landings I'm going to do. 4,200 feet, still descending. I hope it doesn't tell us that we're going to get 3,000 feet now. No, that's good. It's going to descend through 3,000 feet. Doing 215 knots. Don't need flaps yet. We're going to bring them out when we get to about 170, because these aircraft can go very, very slowly indeed. It's going to line us up nicely though. That little purple line there. We want the aircraft symbol in the middle to line up with that, and for that line to be lined up with this as well.
Altitude.
Okay, thank you. We're reaching 2,000 feet. The rain has suddenly started to hit the windows here. Let's get it on approach mode. Whether that does anything or not, we'll have to see. Well, would you look at that? Beautifully lined up. Beautifully lined up. So we're going to remain at 2,000 feet. Hope to see what's in front of us. We're going to put landing lights on. Going to bring the flaps down to flat 1. That's going to start to bring the speed down, and we actually do have visibility. There is the airport, so we're way over to the left here. So we're going to take the autopilot off.
Autopilot.
We're going to just bring the aircraft over to the right slightly here because for some reason it has lined us up way off to the left. We've got plenty of time to intercept that. We're doing 130 knots though, so we need to build up some more speed. Now we're going to bring the gear down. There comes the gear. And here comes the landing into Newcastle, everybody. Let's crack on. I'm trying to fly to the flight director and it's trying to tell me to go way over to the left. Is it going to line me up well? Oh, that's a big shear of wind there. It's moving about a hell of a lot.
Chop 19er Charlie, wind 241 at 9er. Clear to land runway 25.
Roger that, thank you.
Clear to land runway 25 chop 19er Charlie.
We need to bring her down because we're still at 1,400 feet. We're not really descending, to be honest. Come on, descend, pig. They really don't fall out the sky like Airbuses do. Whoa, we're being thrown off by the wind here as well. The wind is sort of coming towards us. We need to descend, Chaz. Come on. Nose down. Nose is down quite a lot here. 160 knots. You can see the nose is trying to drift to the right a bit as well. There's a big shear of wind. Okay, let's bring that descent back slightly because we're at about 1,000 feet a minute down at the moment. Just carry on descending, piggy. Come on. We've gone way over to the right, way over to the left. Now we're back over to the left again. This is hard. This is hard in a small aircraft like this. It's not even that strong a wind at the moment, but it feels like it's mental. Pappy's not looking fantastic, but we'll guide it in visually. We're at about 500 feet now. So I can ease off on the descent at least. And give it a bit of power because we're dropping speed. There's a lot of movement going on here. We're low, I know that much. Although it feels like it, but I think we're okay. Try and... Okay, there we go. Off the throttles, flare it out. That was a bit of a hard flare. And again, and again. Bit of a harder landing than I'm used to recently, but I'll tell you what, there was a lot of hard work went into getting that on the ground. Hard onto the brakes now. We're going to let it roll down the runway. We've got no traffic behind us from what I know. Flaps are going to come up. And welcome to Newcastle, everybody. Going to follow this taxiway off to the right.
19er Charlie, turn next taxiway.
Will do, love, thank you. Take this high-speed taxiway off to the right. And that, I would say, was rather successful.
19er Charlie, contact ground on 121.73.
Okay, we'll come to a stop here and then we'll contact ground.
Going to 121.73 chop 19er Charlie.
We're just going to taxi to
Newcastle
parking.
ground chop 19er Charlie.
So we're on
taxi to
Bravo.
parking.
Alpha goes to the right.
Chop 19er Charlie taxi
Okay.
to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo Bravo to Alpha 4 Alpha.
Okay, will do. So that means we
Taxi
turn
to
right.
general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo Bravo to Alpha for Alpha chop 19er Charlie.
I hope you enjoyed that flight. I certainly did. It was nice. I love this Citation. Fantastic little aircraft, man. Absolutely fantastic little aircraft. Very enjoyable. So we're going to turn right on here to Alpha 4, and then we're going to try and find Alpha. Apparently there's general aviation parking, and it looks like there's some over there. There's some guys over there. Oh no! Oh no, I did a bad thing. Oh, after all that, a really shoddy bit of taxi, and I thought there was another entrance to it over on the right over there. I could see the guys, and I thought they were further over to the right. Okay, so we're gonna jump on the next yellow line here. That was a bit poor, sorry. There's a guy waiting there with the tug for us. Let's see how well we can line this up, shall we? Is he waiting to guide me in? Oh, he is. Flipping heck. Because there's another yellow line there. I just thought we were a bit close to that. Apparently not. Well, there you go. We finally found the right parking spot. That's not something we've done much through this playthrough. Right, let's get everything shut down, shall we? Let's get these little glass thingy-majigs on, and we'll turn off the right engine first and then the left. Let everything else power down. We'll turn the avionics off. Turn those off as well. Yep, that's fine. And then we will turn the battery switches off. And we are in silence then. I'm very, very pleased with that flight. I thought that went really well. That was a lot of fun. Everything's all off now, so it's nice and quiet and nice and clean. But that was Glasgow to Newcastle, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Another little flight in our Cessna Citation CJ4 Golf Charlie Delta Mike Bravo. I don't know where we're going to go from Newcastle. It might be a longer flight. It might be another short hop like that. But still, I'm going to love flying this aircraft for a little bit longer. Now I know I can do the flight plans and stuff and sort of get it right and it's nice and straightforward. I'm going to try and plan those out a little bit more in future, and we'll get the hang of this in the end. I think it'll all go really smoothly when I get each piece of the puzzle together on this, so I hope you'll join me along the way for that. That's all for now though. Thank you very much for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.